Hi there, it's Suzanne. In today's video, we're going to be talking about images. Images are really, really important to have in your book, but there's a couple of things that I need to tell you. The two most important things about images is, let me make a little note here. Up. The two most important things about images are number one, don't steal them. And number two, they have to be 300 dpi, okay? Or they won't print properly. So let me tell you what I mean about steal them. A lot of people don't know this, believe it or not. When I do my courses, I just can't even believe that this happens. But let's see you're looking for a picture of a flower, okay? You go to Google and you see, oh, that's a nice picture of a flower. That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm just going to save that and put that in my book. Well, you can't because that's stealing. That's someone else's flower. That's someone else's image, and that's not cool. You cannot take pictures off of the internet anywhere you like and use them on your website or anywhere, unless it's Creative Commons, unless you have, the license for it. And so you can go here into settings and go into advanced search and then scroll down and go to the very bottom where it says usage rights. You could go choose free to use or share, even commercially, and then click advanced search. Now these will give you images that are not that are basically royalty free. At the bottom of it, it says Commons Wikipedia, so that's like Creative Commons. A lot of these ones are fine. However, that brings me back to my other point, which was they have to be 300 dpi. Okay, so this means 300 dots per inch. That means they're high res. You know, people always say, "Oh, it has to be high res, high res." They're saying it has to be high resolution because you're creating a paperback book. So it has to be high resolution or else they'll be blurry when you print them. And believe me, it's the last thing you want to be doing because you're right at the final stretch of your book being done. You're so happy. It's been edited, it's been formatted, it's all done, it's all ready to go. You've got your cover, you've got everything done, and then suddenly Amazon says, "Oh, we cannot print this because your images are blurry." Believe me, ask me how I know this. I found out the hard way. So I'm going to spare you the pain. So make sure they're 300 dpi. What I do is, first of all, one of the best ways of getting around royalty is taking the pictures yourself. Okay, so if there's an image, depending on what you do for a living, right? Like, let's say you're a real estate agent, you have the rights to the pictures of the houses that you've taken. One of my clients is a home stager, so her before and after pictures are all totally fine. And use your settings on your camera to make sure that you're taking them at a high resolution. If your pictures are 3 or 4 or 5 megabytes each, then they're high resolution. If they're like 15 kilobytes, they're not high resolution. So another thing you can do is use one of the sites like iStock Photo. There's a whole bunch of them. You can look around. So if you look down, there's iStock Photo, there's Getty Images, there's tons of photo sites where actually if you want to Google royalty free photos, you'll see what you've got here. You've got Shutterstock, $1 stock photos. Those are usually kind of these type of places that say they're cheap are usually a bit of a trick because when you click on it, you end up going to iStock Photo anyways. So let's just go to iStock Photos or Photo and just show you how it works. Okay, and this is what you see when you get here. Let's say we want to find a picture of a for sale sign. Let's spell it right. Okay, and here we come, and we got things like this. So I'm just thinking for the realtor, you can grab. Let's say you're a realtor and you want to grab some images for your book. Okay, images are really important, so don't skip this step. And so what we do is we can look at. So let's just say, for example, let's look at this one. Okay, if you hover over it, it'll make it bigger. If you click on it, it'll tell you about how much it costs and stuff like that. So if you look here, this is what I'm talking about. The small one, now you might think, well, it's 11 inches by almost 8 inches. That's not small, that's a big picture, but it says it's at 72 dpi. You can't have that. You have to have it 300 dpi. So you're going to need to get the medium or larger, okay? And if you want to remember this, like say you're fooling around on here one day, then just join for a free and click on Save to Lightbox, and then that the Lightbox is just kind of like a little folder, right? I mean, it's like photography speak or whatever, right? But you can save it to a Lightbox, and then so as you're, sometimes it's like 10 o'clock at night, kids are in bed, and you're just fooling around on the internet, and you're like, okay, I'm going to look for some images, but you don't want to commit to buying anything. Um, right then and there, but you want to save them. Just save them to your Lightbox. All right, so if you want to download that photo, then what you need to do is figure out how much is 35 credits. Okay, how much is that going to cost? So look here under ways to pay. Let's look at buy credits and just see how much that would cost. So 30 credits is $60.75. All right, so it's going to cost you more than $60 for that picture. I wouldn't do it personally. I would look at photos that are cheaper. So let's say, okay, so 10 credits is $22. I'd look for photos that you can get for 10 credits or less because it depends on your budget, right? But if you want to have 10 pictures, you don't want to spend $600 on pictures for your book. I wouldn't. So that's just my philosophy. But you can look at some of the other sharing sites or the image sites and see what you can find. But basically, what I wanted to tell you about images is that you want to make sure that you don't steal them and that they are 300 DPI. And so that's our lesson for today, and I'll see you in the next lesson.